Hey, it's MK, and I am back with another Follow a Sketch February, and this one here is a pretty simple sketch, which I actually had a blast putting together. All right, a few things that I will be playing with is a silicone spatula using my Nouveau drops in malted milk. Now, I have to tell you guys that I still look for where the names are for these colors. I apologize. I also have a Tim Holtz, like a tire print stencil, and then close to my heart shimmer pin in gold, and then a few leftover wooden gears from some assemblage required I'm also going to be playing around with. I have a few, I believe these are Ella and Vive cut aparts that I used my scan and cut to cut them out, and then this old Kaiser Craft Reasons Why I Love You die. I have a close to my heart cardstock in espresso and this gorgeous picture of my husband at work. Yes, actually it's his truck working on a drill. He's taking the picture. And then this is a fun paper pack that I have received from a follower named Deb. I'm not sure if she wants me to say her last name on air or not, but thank you, Deb. I am in love with every single one of these pieces of paper, you guys. And I flip through them just so you can see them. Normally I don't. Normally I make my choices off camera. All right. I also believe that I brought in some geared buttons, but I don't remember. Anyways, I'm sorry. That's so sad. So I'm going to take my cardstock. I'm going to use the darker side for my 8x8 paper, because that's the photo, or that's the layout size that I'm going to be creating today. And then I'm also going to be taking the lighter side and using it for the back of my husband's photo. All right. Like I promised, I flipped through all of them because I love looking at them. You might see them come up a little bit more. They're just beautiful, you guys. I had another subscriber send me a paper pack as well. I have been using that throughout last year and this year. Well, at the couple months that I've had it, but she has requested, please don't do a shout out. She didn't want any attention or anything like that. So to her wishes, that is what I have done, because heaven forbid, I don't want to embarrass anybody, or if it was something that, they don't normally do. So, but I do have some other papers, but they're slightly different than these papers. All right. So, went ahead off camera, inked all my edges in ground espresso. I think it's a distress ink instead of the oxide. And then I'm going to take this tire strip, or stencil, and use my Nouveau drops. Now, I don't squeeze out a whole lot at a time, because you can't clean up, or you can't keep your Nouveau drops or put them in the bottle as easily as you can any other paste. So I definitely do enjoy doing this the most with my Nouveau drops, you guys. I am not, I'm not a huge drop person. I love putting my Nouveaus through a stencil. All right, I'm going to take my close to my heart marker. It's just shimmer brush, and I'm going to squeeze it and splatter it all over my tire marks, just to give them a little bit more interest, because that malted milk, it has a color, but it's kind of, I think opaque is the word I'm looking for, because it's just shiny rather than it's got color. And I really wanted mud effect, because he's kind of sort of working in the snow, which when it defrosts, it becomes mud. And so it's nasty. The elements outside are nasty. And that is where my husband works all the time. Anyways, decided that I'm going to pop up some of these squares, just because of the fact that the layout kind of seemed a little blah. I wanted to add a little bit of something. So when I was putting the foam on some of the squares, I'm glad that I thought about how they were going to go together, because if I would have put foam on the very bottom square, then it definitely would have been two-dimensional, and the upper square would have been double foamed, and I didn't want double foam. So I went ahead and I glued that one straight. Well, I haven't done that yet, but I will be gluing that one straight down on the page. And then I wanted to spray my gears with gold, just to give them a little bit of shine. It's not a lot of color, it's more of a shine. And I wanted to make sure that this bottom gear down here looks okay on top of the other square because the circle in the sketch is underneath both squares. Whew, I hope I got that right because I wanted to make sure that it was going to look good before I went ahead and did it. I've been second guessing myself lately, you guys. Normally I'm just a do it and go kind of gal. And this one here has just, not just this one, but I have just been second guessing myself left and right for a couple days now. And it's kind of scary and it's kind of annoying at the same time because I liked how I just kind of went with things. Everything just falls in place normally. And I don't know, it's just weird. All right, so I went ahead and I put my two main circles underneath the squares like they are in the sketch. But because I am using such a large photo, I won't be doing the three squares that are kind of in the corners of those, on the sketch. So instead, that's where I brought in these kind of gold gears by Ella and Vive, and it was just a cut apart sheet that came in a paper pack that I picked up from them, and it was actually the neatest little paper pack ever. But the only thing I didn't like about it is all their paper seems to be shiny, and I'm not a big fan of that. So what I did to kind of tone it down is inked the edges in espresso ink, and I really like it actually because now it's not so bright white, but it's also not so shiny either. So that worked out really well. And then I went ahead and put my title up at the top or down at the bottom instead of up at the top, which is, this is why I love you, is, because he goes to work and, comes home, talks to me about his day. And I actually kind of understand what it is that he's talking about. And, I don't know, we support each other very well. And, I miss doing this, and so I'm kind of living through him. But you can tell it's kind of muddy, kind of snowy outside. You never know what the weather's going to be like. I also have to tell you guys that when I put this in my album, my page protector is actually 8.5 by 8.5. So this layout in itself happens to be too small. So I did go ahead and cut out a yellow piece of cardstock, which now I love it. So that is the end result that I have ended up with. I did kind of put the entire 8x8 down on a little, a little angle for it to finish off. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Be sure to check out everyone else who is playing along over on the Facebook group. I have been enjoying seeing all of the different sketches or all of the different takes on the sketches, you guys. It has just been a blast. So if you guys are playing along, let me know and I will go take a look because honestly, I skim through them and I hit the like button or I hit the heart button. I mostly hit hearts, you guys. I just can't like something. I love everything. So anyways, but let me know so that way I can see what day you guys played along with and kind of sort of put a name to a page. That's just so fun. Anyways, thank you so much and I'll check y'all later. Bye.